Now, once you've capped everything out and you're at a 790 or a 770 or whatever the case is, then you can start playing those 2, 10, 11 point, getting areas, man, when you're trying to go for a big purchase or something like that.
It says Mike always says to stay between 1 to 6% to get the max benefit. So, please explain 1 to 6% and when to pay that off. That's a great question. I love this question. So it's always been a thing where people say, in order to get the highest credit score, you need to carry a small balance on your credit cards. It's really not true. Right. And I proved this in multiple videos that you can potentially, now listen to the word, potentially get up to an extra 10 points, okay? 10 points. Now, I may get 10 points. Jay may only get 8. You may only get 3. Everyone's going to be different on how many points you can get per that category. So carrying 1 to 6% utilization can potentially get you up to 10 extra points, but it's not a deal breaker. It's not going to be the game changer that's going to, get you a decision. It shouldn't be. A 10 point shouldn't make a big, huge difference, right, Jay?
Yeah, I mean, here's how I see it, dude. A lot of people are trying to play this nuanced game of credit, and they haven't figured out the basics yet. And so 99.9% of you asking this question about the 1 to 6% balance are in the 550 to 600, 650 credit score range. It makes no difference to you at that point. Now, once you've capped everything out and you're at a 790 or a 770 or whatever the case is, then you can start playing those 2, 10, 11 point, getting areas, man, when you're trying to go for a big purchase or something like that. But aside from that, it means nothing to you and only adds risk, because at that point, now you're trying to manage something that really shouldn't be in your brain, which is, should I leave $3 on this card? And then you forget about it. And then what happens when you get that 30-day late over a $3 balance that you forgot about because you thought you paid it off? You couldn't remember that you left a $3 balance. So the question, like everything else in life, is it's the risk versus the reward. The risk of trying to maintain 1 to 6% balances on 10 cards, 18 cards is insane compared to the minuscule benefit that you'll get by even figuring that out. I don't play that game myself. If you look at my credit report, like 18 out of my 19 cards or 17 out of my 18 cards have a 0 balance all the time. I don't play that game because I can't afford it. I get a 30-day late and I got an 805 credit score. Now I'm down to 705. Trying to get to an 811, it didn't make sense. Just doesn't make sense. So if it doesn't make sense for me, it probably don't make sense for you. Is it a fact that it does help? Can it get you extra points? Sure. But is it worth the risk? Absolutely not.